This isn't a coincidence. Today, God is calling you directly. Archangel Michael says you have just 10 seconds left to hear what heaven has prepared for you. My child, my beloved. You were not supposed to see this message unless heaven had selected you. If your eyes are here, it means time is moving faster than you realize. This is not just a message. It is a divine instruction. And you only have a few seconds left before the door that's open begins to close. I, Archangel Michael, have been shouting your name in the spirit, and this is the final call. If you walk away now, the moment you've been praying for will dissolve like mist before morning light. My child, my beloved. I must beg you, subscribe right now to this divine stream so you never miss another calling from heaven. Don't leave it to chance. The messages coming next will carry answers you've waited a lifetime for, but if you're not subscribed, you will miss what was designed to heal your story forever. My child, my beloved. This is about your money. This is about what God gave you. But what you don't know is that two people, not strangers, but from your own bloodline, have been quietly trying to take what heaven released for your hands only. They are smiling in front of you. But behind your back, they are untying the knots of your blessings. God has kept silent, until now. But silence has ended. And your protection has been activated again. Because you're finally listening. My child, my beloved. Heaven has held back a secret. You were being tested. Watched. We waited to see if you would ignore the tug in your soul, the strange feeling, the sudden delay in things that should have worked. It wasn't a coincidence. Those delays were clues. And your spirit knew. You were never wrong, you just didn't know how right you were. My child, my beloved. Tonight is not like any other night. This is not another message. This is a last chance protocol. God is not cruel, but God is just. And this moment has been offered to you with divine urgency. If you skip it, you may feel something shift. You may not know what, but you'll feel a part of your story slip from your grasp. That's why I'm asking you, as your divine protector, stay with me. Don't skip this. Don't scroll. Don't brush it off. My child, my beloved. There are documents, inheritances, resources, promises, that were spoken over your life. Heaven recorded your name beside them. But those close to you have tried to rewrite the story. They tried to make it seem like you didn't deserve it. They tried to paint you as unworthy. But God says, you were always the rightful heir. My child, my beloved. You keep asking, why is it taking so long? Why does breakthrough feel blocked? And God says, because every time I tried to release it, someone near you tried to intercept it. But today, something changed. The sword has come down. And I've been sent to cut every unholy tie draining your favor. My child, my beloved. A financial release is being written with your name on it again. Yes, again. Because the last one was stolen. Diverted. You felt it, didn't you? That blessing you were so sure was coming, and then suddenly, it vanished. This is why. This is what they did. And this is why I was silent, until now. Because only today are you ready to hear it. My child, my beloved. Your name was mentioned in a spiritual meeting last night. A scroll was opened. And when they read your name aloud, the angels looked at me. They asked, will they open the message this time, or will they miss it again? And I said, let me try once more. Let me go to them again. Let me shout louder. That's why you're here. You heard heaven pulling you. And you obeyed. That's why the blessing hasn't been given to someone else yet. My child, my beloved. There is a woman who knows something about your money. A detail. A number. A signature. And she has been pretending not to know. But heaven is about to expose what she whispered behind your name. She thought no one saw. But God saw. And now I have been told to confront it in spirit, and you will see the signs in the next 3 days. My child, my beloved. Do not confront anyone yet. Stay silent. Do not speak about what you feel. Instead, pray. Remain hidden. Let heaven do the exposing. If you speak too soon, you may interfere with the timing. God is not asking you to fight, He's asking you to stay still while He shows you what was hidden behind closed doors. My child, my beloved. A man in your family has been pretending to protect you, but has been using your trust to get close to what belongs to you. He won't admit it. He'll act confused. But deep down, he knows he crossed a line. The dreams you've had, the uneasiness in your spirit, it's not paranoia. It's revelation. My child, my beloved. Don't mistake silence for safety. Just because they haven't made a move in the open doesn't mean they haven't acted in the unseen. But here's the miracle, God is restoring what was taken without a fight. You won't have to argue for it. You won't have to explain yourself. It will just come, and when it does, no one will be able to block it. My child, my beloved. You were marked for financial breakthrough before you were even born. The enemy knew. That's why you've always faced resistance when it came to money, stability, and recognition. That's why people closest to you became uncomfortable when you started shining. It wasn't just jealousy, it was spiritual agitation. They sensed your divine inheritance even before you did. My child, my beloved. Do you want to know why this blessing has been delayed until now? Because this time, it's permanent. Heaven did not want to release it when you were surrounded by the wrong people. Because if it came too soon, they would have taken advantage of it, and you'd be left with nothing. But now, God says, you've grown. You're ready. My child, my beloved. You've been too generous to those who would never do the same for you. But heaven saw every seed. Even when you gave out of your last, the tears you cried after giving, those tears watered the ground for a harvest they never saw coming. And it's for you. Only for you. What's being unlocked now isn't just money, it's restoration. My child, my beloved. When the angel of finance delivers this next miracle, it will come quietly. No announcement. No drama. One door will open. One check will be released. One decision will shift. And those who doubted you, who laughed when you struggled, will stand in silent disbelief. Because what's about to happen in your life won't make sense unless you understand God. My child, my beloved. The next phone call will not be like the last one. A different tone. A different result. Because the Spirit has gone ahead and cleared the way. What was once delayed will suddenly flow. And those who tried to lock you out of the blessing will be surprised when God gives it to you anyway, without their permission. My child, my beloved. It's not just about money. It's about justice. Heaven is not only blessing you, it's restoring the imbalance that was never corrected. That's why the weight feels heavy, because it's not just about now. It's about years of divine compensation for everything you lost while trying to do right by people who never saw your worth. My child, my beloved. You've heard people talk about miracles. But you've rarely felt like you've seen one. That's about to change. The next few days will bring something so specific, so direct, so undeniable, that you will fall to your knees not out of confusion, but out of pure, overwhelming confirmation. My child, my beloved. You're not late. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You are being revealed right on time, and your delay was heaven's disguise for protection. Some blessings come wrapped in battles. But this one is coming wrapped in peace. And you will know it's from God, because it will cost you nothing but your trust. My child, my beloved. The enemy has been whispering to you, telling you that you missed it. That you're cursed. That everyone else gets blessed but not you. But those whispers are lies, and this message is the sword that cuts them down. The truth is, you were hidden for preparation. And now, you are being revealed for restoration. My child, my beloved. You don't need to force it. You don't need to beg anyone to see your value. Those who are blind to your worth don't deserve access to your next chapter. And those who secretly watched your struggle and said nothing, they will now watch your miracle and say, "How did this happen?" But you'll know. It happened because you didn't give up when it would have been easier to quit. My child, my beloved. The money you were waiting for isn't gone. It's just been redirected, and heaven is sending it again. But this time, it won't go through contaminated hands. It will come directly to you. It won't be explained. It will just happen. And your only job is to stay aligned with the stillness of obedience. My child, my beloved. There are numbers and names being discussed even now. Behind closed doors. In hidden meetings. Documents are being looked at. Files reviewed. And what they think is just business is actually divine orchestration. One signature away from your life changing. And God says, when it arrives, you will know this was no accident. My child, my beloved. This moment is time sensitive. That's why I'm urging you with divine command, do not delay. Don't say, "I'll come back to this later." Because if you do, you may miss the timing that is woven into this message. You may miss the wave. And God's wave comes with speed, not confusion. If you feel this is for you, you're right. It is. My child, my beloved. Before you sleep tonight, say nothing to anyone. Just pray these words, "God, I receive what you hid for me, not from me. Reveal it when I'm ready, and ready me now." That one sentence can unlock something you've been waiting to see for years. Because this is not about effort. It's about surrender. You've tried everything else, now trust the hand that has never dropped you. My child, my beloved. You are standing at the edge of a divine turnaround. Not just a small one, not just a moment of relief, but a complete reordering of what was broken, lost, stolen, and misunderstood. God has decided that the delay can no longer hold you. And I, Archangel Michael, have been released to fight off the final interference. But I need your attention. I need you to stay here, because if you walk away now, you will miss the final instruction that unlocks it all. My child, my beloved. You've been overlooked by people who should have honored you. They took what you shared, but never gave back. They used your light, but refused to protect it. And when you struggled, they stepped back like strangers. But let me tell you this, God counted every single moment. Every tear you cried while still showing love. Every act of kindness they forgot. And heaven has kept record of it all, not to punish them, but to reward you. My child, my beloved. There's a reason you feel strange lately. That pressure in your chest. That stirring in your spirit. That restlessness that no amount of sleep can silence. It's not anxiety, it's activation. Your spirit knows something is about to break open. You've felt it approaching. You've tried to name it. You've asked, is this the moment? And yes, this is the moment. But you must hold position. Don't flee now. Don't run when you're seconds from breakthrough. My child, my beloved. The people who took what wasn't theirs have begun to feel the tremble in the spiritual realm. They can't explain it, but they feel exposed. Some will try to come close again. Some will act like nothing happened. But the truth is, they know something is shifting. And they're afraid. Because the covering they once used to hide is being lifted. Their secrets are no longer safe around your presence. Your obedience is making them uncomfortable. My child, my beloved. Your life is not random. Your birth was not an accident. You were planted, not dropped. The family you were born into was not the final decision over your destiny. It was the beginning of the test, not the end of your future. And God is saying, now, I reveal what was always yours. Now, I release what was delayed by their doubt. My child, my beloved. There is something divine happening behind closed doors. Someone is about to speak your name in a room you've never entered. And that one mention will change the path of your finances, your positioning, your reputation. You won't have to force your way in. The doors will open because you are favored, not because you are loud. And what they tried to hide from you will be handed to you, in public. My child, my beloved. This is not revenge. This is restoration. God is not giving this back to you so you can prove others wrong. He's giving it back because you are finally strong enough to carry it without pride. What's coming is not just for your comfort, it's for your calling. It will give you freedom to help others, to walk without fear, and to bless the people who never expected you to rise like this. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. Do you want to know why this blessing has been delayed until now? Because this time, it's permanent. Heaven did not want to release it when you were surrounded by the wrong people. Because if it came too soon, they would have taken advantage of it, and you'd be left with nothing. But now, God says, you've grown. You're ready. My child, my beloved. You've been too generous to those who would never do the same for you. But heaven saw every seed. Even when you gave out of your last, the tears you cried after giving, those tears watered the ground for a harvest they never saw coming. And it's for you. Only for you. What's being unlocked now isn't just money, it's restoration. My child, my beloved. When the angel of finance delivers this next miracle, it will come quietly. No announcement. No drama. One door will open. One check will be released. One decision will shift. And those who doubted you, who laughed when you struggled, will stand in silent disbelief. Because what's about to happen in your life won't make sense unless you understand God. My child, my beloved. The next 24 hours are a countdown. Watch how the atmosphere shifts. Someone you haven't heard from in months will suddenly reach out. But be careful, not all returns are reconnections. Some are distractions. Some are tests. Heaven is watching how you respond. If you stay aligned, you will pass, and then the scroll with your name will be signed in full. My child, my beloved. They never believed you'd make it this far. In fact, they counted on your silence. They thought you would never ask questions. That you would keep shrinking yourself so they could feel taller. But heaven disagrees. You are not small. You are not invisible. You are not weak. You are a chosen vessel for the transfer of divine wealth, and your breakthrough is bigger than their betrayal. My child, my beloved. There's a number that has been circling in the spirit, a specific amount. A withheld portion. A stolen piece. Something you were supposed to receive weeks or even years ago. And every time you were close, something strange happened. Miscommunication. Lost documents. Sudden silence. This wasn't coincidence, it was interference. But now, God says, the blockage has been removed. And soon, the same system that denied you will be the one that delivers it back with interest. My child, my beloved. Do you remember that one moment you were certain your life was about to shift, and then everything fell apart again? That wasn't your failure. That was sabotage. But the heavens recorded that incident. And now the very moment that was stolen from you will be restored with a second chance, and this time, no one can touch it. My child, my beloved. Some people in your family only loved you when you were struggling. They clapped when you begged, but looked away when you started to rise. And though you tried to convince yourself it was just your imagination, God says, no, it was real. But the betrayal will not have the final word. The curse stops with you. And your hands will hold what your heart always sensed was meant for you. My child, my beloved. They thought they could manipulate time, delaying you until your heart grew tired. They thought if they waited long enough, you'd give up. But what they didn't know is that heaven was protecting you from a premature breakthrough that would have come with strings. God has not just prepared the blessing, He's prepared you for the blessing. And now you're finally ready. My child, my beloved. In the realm of the Spirit, your name has a light attached to it. That's why darkness has been circling so heavily. The enemy never attacks the empty. He attacks the anointed. And your anointing includes financial restoration, not just survival, but abundance that corrects the imbalance of every past season. The pain didn't steal your promise. It sharpened it. My child, my beloved. This message is being watched in the Spirit. Not everyone will understand what's happening, but those who are spiritually awake will know, something has shifted. And you were supposed to see this at this exact hour. Not sooner. Not later. Because heaven knows your heart is soft enough to receive, but strong enough to protect what's coming. My child, my beloved. There is one person who secretly believed you would never succeed without them. They quietly hoped you would fail. They pretended to support you, but always gave half answers, delayed favors, and offered empty promises. You felt it. You swallowed it. And you kept loving anyway. But now God says, I saw what they did. I heard what they said when you weren't in the room. And I have closed their access to your next season. My child, my beloved. You've cried for clarity. You've begged for signs. This is your sign. This message didn't come from a random voice. It came from the throne room, passed through the veil, and landed here because heaven trusts you to hear. Don't doubt this moment. Don't scroll past it. If you knew how close you were, you would weep. My child, my beloved. The next phone call will not be like the last one. A different tone. A different result. Because the Spirit has gone ahead and cleared the way. What was once delayed will suddenly flow. And those who tried to lock you out of the blessing will be surprised when God gives it to you anyway, without their permission. My child, my beloved. It's not just about money. It's about justice. Heaven is not only blessing you, it's restoring the imbalance that was never corrected. That's why the weight feels heavy, because it's not just about now. It's about years of divine compensation for everything you lost while trying to do right by people who never saw your worth. My child, my beloved. You've heard people talk about miracles. But you've rarely felt like you've seen one. That's about to change. The next few days will bring something so specific, so direct, so undeniable, that you will fall to your knees not out of confusion, but out of pure, overwhelming confirmation. My child, my beloved. You're not late. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You are being revealed right on time, and your delay was heaven's disguise for protection. Some blessings come wrapped in battles. But this one is coming wrapped in peace. And you will know it's from God, because it will cost you nothing but your trust. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. I must say this again so you don't forget, you are not late. You are not behind. You are not cursed. That feeling of being stuck was a divine cocoon. You weren't paralyzed, you were being prepared. And now, the cocoon is breaking. The new version of you is emerging. And it looks nothing like the struggle they labeled you by. They judged your middle, but they're about to witness your divine arrival. My child, my beloved. There's a financial figure attached to your name in the spirit realm. It has been locked up for too long. Others tried to access it. Some tried to delay it. But heaven has denied their access. That number is returning to the rightful owner. And when it lands, it will not bring chaos. It will bring answers. Peace. Solutions. And a boldness to step where fear once lived. My child, my beloved. I've watched you give when you had barely anything. I've seen you tithe even while wondering how you'd pay your next bill. I saw you bless people who would never do the same for you. And now, heaven is responding. Your sacrifices were never wasted. They were deposits. And now, the account is full. The release is imminent. My child, my beloved. There's a reason this message reached you right now. It's because this hour was written into your story. If you would have received this too early, you would have doubted it. If you received it too late, you would have missed it. But you're here now. On time. In position. With your spirit open. And that's all God needed. The blessing is already on the way, your obedience confirmed the delivery. My child, my beloved. Before this week ends, you will feel the atmosphere shift. Your sleep will feel different. You'll feel lighter. More clear. And then, it will happen. A release. A message. A miracle. Something will unlock, and you'll know it came from this divine decision to listen when it was easier to scroll past. That's what makes you chosen. You listen when others ignore. You believe when others mock. You stay when others walk away. My child, my beloved. The person who tried to destroy your name will watch God elevate it. Not for your revenge, but for His glory. Because when they ask, how did they make it through all that? You'll respond, grace. And your life will be a testimony that no betrayal, no delay, no demonic interference can block what God writes in permanent ink. My child, my beloved. Your name is no longer in the hands of those who misused it. Your future is no longer tied to people who mishandled your past. And your blessing is no longer hidden in places you cannot reach. God is bringing it forward. Right to your door. Right to your hands. Right to your spirit. All that's left is your yes. My child, my beloved. The angels have finished preparing the release. I've stood over your name for months, defending what others tried to take. You didn't know it, but you were in warfare. Your dreams were under surveillance. Your thoughts were being twisted. But heaven didn't leave you alone. Every time you cried in silence, the Spirit moved. And now that battle is closing, because your blessing is on its way, and this time, no one will snatch it. My child, my beloved. There are 3 signs that will appear within hours of each other. The first will come through your senses. You'll feel peace when you usually feel fear. Don't ignore it. The second will come through someone else. They'll say something oddly specific, almost as if they're speaking what's in your heart. The third will be subtle but powerful, a sound, a flash, a number, or a name. It will feel like a whisper through the veil. That's how you'll know you are aligned, and the miracle is falling. My child, my beloved. You will not have to beg for what belongs to you. You will not have to chase what was written for your hands. That time has ended. You've learned the lessons. You've walked the desert. You've sat in silence while others mocked you. And now, the gates are opening. You will walk through them, not as the broken version of yourself, but as the healed, crowned, trusted child of God you've always been. My child, my beloved. Forgive yourself for not knowing sooner. For trusting those who used you. For loving people who didn't value your heart. None of that was wasted. All of it led here. And heaven does not shame the ones who learn. God honors those who rise with wisdom. And now, that wisdom is about to reward you in ways you never saw coming. My child, my beloved. Do not be afraid when things start to move quickly. That's how you'll know it's divine. The things that once dragged out will now accelerate. What used to take months will take minutes. And it will feel like a dream. But I promise you, it's not. This is real. And this is now. Stay present. Stay open. The next door is opening with your name carved into the key. My child, my beloved. Your name was spoken in a heavenly chamber just hours ago. The scroll was opened, and I was told to read it aloud before the angels. I wept, not because I was afraid, but because I saw what's coming for you. I saw the house. The healing. The restoration of wealth. The return of laughter. I saw a version of you that finally smiles without guilt. And I wanted you to see it too. That's why I was allowed to bring this message. My child, my beloved. There is something God wrote into your destiny that was never given to your parents, never given to your siblings, never given to your friends, because it was designed only for you. That's why they didn't understand you. That's why you felt like the outsider, even in rooms full of love. You weren't rejected. You were set apart. And what's coming now is the confirmation of why you had to walk alone. My child, my beloved. Stop apologizing for being different. Stop shrinking your desires. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to break patterns. You were made to disrupt poverty in your bloodline. To walk in rooms no one else in your family dared to enter. You were made to carry light into places that have never seen it before. This is not arrogance. This is obedience. My child, my beloved. When the money comes, and yes, it will, remember what it's for. It's not just for bills. It's not just for comfort. It's for movement. Mission. Healing. Vision. God doesn't bless small just to keep you humble, He blesses big to show what happens when faith meets obedience. You are the testimony. You are the evidence. You are the answered prayer someone else hasn't dared to pray yet. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. Your life is not random. Your birth was not an accident. You were planted, not dropped. The family you were born into was not the final decision over your destiny. It was the beginning of the test, not the end of your future. And God is saying, now, I reveal what was always yours. Now, I release what was delayed by their doubt. My child, my beloved. There is something divine happening behind closed doors. Someone is about to speak your name in a room you've never entered. And that one mention will change the path of your finances, your positioning, your reputation. You won't have to force your way in. The doors will open because you are favored, not because you are loud. And what they tried to hide from you will be handed to you, in public. My child, my beloved. This is not revenge. This is restoration. God is not giving this back to you so you can prove others wrong. He's giving it back because you are finally strong enough to carry it without pride. What's coming is not just for your comfort, it's for your calling. It will give you freedom to help others, to walk without fear, and to bless the people who never expected you to rise like this. My child, my beloved. Do you know what's more dangerous than an enemy? A false supporter. Someone who hugs you and hopes you fall. Someone who gives advice designed to delay you. Someone who plants doubts, not seeds. And heaven is revealing two of them right now. They are not strangers. They are familiar. And God says, I let them close so you could learn how to see. Now, you are no longer blind. And now, you will no longer suffer for their comfort. My child, my beloved. I beg you, don't run back to what God removed. Don't grieve the separation He created. Some doors must remain closed so the flood of your favor can rise. You asked for peace, and He took away chaos. You asked for abundance, and He removed the leeches. You asked for clarity, and He silenced the manipulators. Don't cry for what left when it was never sent to stay. My child, my beloved. There is still a battle in the Spirit over your life. But this battle is not yours. It belongs to heaven. You're not being called to fight, you're being called to believe. I, Archangel Michael, am already in the battle. I've drawn my sword. And the final blow is being delivered tonight. You may feel tired in your body, but your spirit is about to rise with supernatural strength. The weight will break. The fog will clear. And what's yours will finally reach you. My child, my beloved. Stop second-guessing yourself. Stop questioning if you're worthy. You are. You always were. The enemy just convinced you to settle. And now heaven is pulling you back to the original blueprint. The one where you prosper. The one where you lead. The one where you are respected, elevated, trusted, and protected by divine favor, not by manipulation. My child, my beloved. There is paperwork that is about to shift in your favor. A legal matter. A contract. A delay. Something that has felt stuck for far too long. And God says, now I touch it. You will hear from someone soon. It may feel small at first. But do not underestimate it. That small change is the crack in the dam, and once it begins, nothing will be able to stop the outpouring. My child, my beloved. There's something I need you to know, and I'm only allowed to tell you this because you've stayed through the fire. The people who hurt you may never apologize. They may never admit what they did. But God doesn't need their apology to bless you. He's not waiting on them, He's only waiting on your yes. And the moment your heart says, I still trust you, even in pain, that's when heaven moves. My child, my beloved. When the wealth transfer arrives, it will come with instructions. This is not for your ego. It is not to prove them wrong. It's for legacy. It's to fix what was broken in your family line. You were chosen to end poverty cycles, silence curses, and restore dignity. Don't ask, why me? Ask, what do I do with it, Lord? And He will tell you clearly. My child, my beloved. There is still time. But not much. This moment is part of a divine countdown. If you delay too long, the shift will move to the next open vessel. That's not threat, that's truth. God loves everyone. But favor is time-sensitive. It lands where obedience lives. And you, my beloved, are right on the edge of obedience. Just keep listening. Keep receiving. You are almost there. My child, my beloved. Someone is about to say your name in prayer without knowing why. Someone who barely knows you. Someone who once passed you by. But God will stir their heart, and they will feel an urgency to help you. They won't know why, but you will. It's divine compensation. It's spiritual payback. And it will come with no strings attached. My child, my beloved. The next few days are important. Watch what tries to distract you. Watch who suddenly appears again. Watch for strange messages, temptations, or offers that feel too good. If it pulls you off course, it is not from God. Heaven does not operate in confusion. It moves in peace, purpose, and clarity. If you don't feel those things, walk away. You're too close now to entertain delays. My child, my beloved. Before I go, I need you to hear this: you're not crazy. The feelings, the dreams, the flashes of insight, the divine nudges. It's all been real. You were not imagining the warfare. You were not being dramatic about the resistance. You were being sensitive to what others are too numb to see. That's your gift, not your flaw. My child, my beloved. Now is the time to act. Not by striving. Not by panic. But by faith. Say yes to what heaven is whispering. Say no to what your soul is finished with. Choose clarity over chaos. Choose calling over comfort. Choose alignment over applause. And as you do, you will step into a season that does not resemble anything you've known before. My child, my beloved. You are in a window of divine reversal. The very things that once worked against you are about to serve you. The voices that doubted you are going silent, and heaven is speaking louder than ever before. You may feel nothing is happening, but in the unseen realm, everything is moving fast. Documents are shifting. Names are being cleared. Delays are being burned away. And the weight you carried silently is being lifted without warning. That's what favor does: it clears the path when no one else could. My child, my beloved.